Welcome to ServiceNow Tech Bites, bringing you an inside look at our products. I'm your host, Steve Miller. Today we'll be talking about the new coaching application with ITSM Product Manager Manjeet Singh. He'll tell us how to use the app to automatically provide coaching for personnel during the course of a ServiceNow workflow. Stay tuned. Joining us today is a voice we've heard before on this show. Welcome, Manjeet Singh.
Very happy to be here, Steve.
Before we get started talking, maybe you could tell listeners a little bit more about yourself. What do you do here at ServiceNow? I understand you've taken on some new roles here.
Yeah, so last time when I came on the show, we talked about continual improvement. That was a new app we launched in London. And since then, I'm focused on leveling up capabilities around continuous improvement, because the focus is on how we can empower our customers to do the service optimizations or in an intelligent way, and which includes like improvement of process, improvement of people, improvement of technology. So I've been basically focused on building new capabilities like the coaching, which is related to people's improvement, and then upcoming capabilities like intelligent skill management.
Okay. So you're just basically expanding the products that you've got in this area.
Yeah, that's right. Because this whole continuous improvement and because it ties up all the way up to the employee experience, because you're improving your processes and making productivity better, and so it has become a strategic product line for us, and we are bringing some cool capabilities to make it reduce all the manual steps in between.
And how about when you're not at work? Do you have any time at all? I remember last time you're heavily into fitness activities.
Yeah, so that's still the fitness thing is still continuously going on. That's my go-to tool. I like movements, and whenever I have time, I train others. More lately, I'm more busy with my two young kids. They are 2 and 5. So I try to spend as much as time I can with them after my work.
That probably contributes to your fitness as well.
Yes. So we keep running around. We do a lot of kind of acro yoga at home, and they love it.
Well, let's take a look at the coaching app. Since this is a new thing, maybe you can give us a quick overview. Just what is it about?
Absolutely, yeah. So in short, coaching app is a new module. It came out in Madrid. What it allows you to do is you can set up your coaching opportunities on any process or any table in the ServiceNow platform, so that you can monitor the behavior, how your workflows are working, how the people are working, and provide the personalized, contextual coaching to the people right when it is needed. So I think it's a very powerful feature, and I'm very excited about it.
It sounds like a good addition to our product suite. Now, maybe you can tell us a little bit, just for background, how did it originate?
Yeah, so let me start from like the top level trends that are happening in the market, right? So if you look at like our ServiceNow focused around experience management, and a lot of our customers, if you look at when we hear their roadmap, they talk about, hey, it's high level company strategy to improve the employee experience, because it ties to the improved customer experience and then some of the other KPIs that they care about. The second thing is, if you look at all the new people who are coming into the workforce, all the millennials, we also call them knowledge workers, they are much more tech savvy. So their expectations from, let's say, the IT help desk is very high when it comes down to, because they're using tech products in their personal life on the consumer side, but when they come to the work, they find that gap. And then if you look at from the agent side, agent wants to get the training and the coaching and wants to take control of their career. How I want to move, how can I fill up the skill gaps? And that's where this coaching piece comes in, because instead of waiting for a formal appraisal period, which is a very outdated framework in today's world, the expectation is that you want to get the feedback right when it matters the most. Let's say if I work on a task and if I didn't follow a process, if I can get it like a micro learning or a video so that I can do the right job next time.
Right at that moment.
Right at that point. These are the kind of 2 or 3 trends I talked about. Now, how can we provide a capability or how we can provide a solution to these? And we had an old coaching loop framework, which was a kind of a bare minimum table and a business rule. So we took the same concept and then we rebuilt it from scratch. Added lots of cool capabilities like better reporting, easy to set up, virtual coach, and a lot more. We can go deep dive into.
Well, to explore this whole, you were talking a little bit about the coaching opportunities. Setting the app aside for a moment, let's look at those coaching opportunities. First of all, who's involved in this? To describe the people involved in a coaching opportunity, what are their characteristics as employees, especially at that moment of coaching?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. So if we look at from the application side, it comes with 3 roles. There is a coaching admin role, a coach role, and a trainee role. So now if we see who are the actual personas that will be using these roles. And so when it comes down to a coaching opportunity setup, that's the responsibility of an admin, basically the coaching admin. But when we see who will be using it on a kind of a day-to-day basis, on one side, for example, if we look in ITSM, so IT agent represents the trainee, and then on IT manager or the service process owners, or in other words, the subject matter expert in particular area who have the capability to coach others, they should get the coach role. And when the coaching opportunity condition is met, a coaching task is created, and both the trainee and the coach use the task to provide the instant training and have the more, the conversation within the task. Hey, here the knowledge article. Here's the next thing that you can improve on.
Okay, so this is something that the coach would be doing anyway, independent of the app. This is something that happens in an organization.
Yeah. So the problem is it does happen, but there's a couple of issues in there. It's not personalized. It's not instant. There is no kind of continuous feedback loop. As an example, let's say if I wouldn't call it a mistake, but let's say I'm not following a process. Let's say change process and then risk assessment is not happening, right? So there is a huge value loss if I get the coaching, let's say next month, because the data is outdated. Some of the things that I've worked on, and that's where the challenge is, because for the manager, it's very hard to go through all the historical data. It's very hard to pinpoint, hey, this was the critical moment in that process that impact the KPIs I care about, for example, cost, customer satisfaction, and the performance. So this is where the coaching loop framework will really simplify to narrow your focus on the areas that matter the most, and then look at those areas and provide the coaching to make your teams better so that they can be more productive and happy.
Okay. Again, setting aside the app and just looking at the interaction between the trainee and the coach, step us through a coaching opportunity. Let's take a look at that, the moment of identifying a need and providing coaching and doing an assessment, so on, throughout a coaching opportunity. How does that work?
Yeah, sure. Let me pick one example. I'm an IT manager. I want to improve our incident process, all the KPIs that relates to it. So if you look at the incident process and have the discussion, hey, what are the critical moment in that process that impacts the 3 KPIs I talked about, cost, CSAT, and the performance. So in the incident, the critical moments, there are a couple of them. So one of them is when the incident comes in and the agent gives the first response. So that is one area. The second is, let's say if incident get reassigned, because when the reassignment happens, MTTR goes high. So that's how basically you go through that process of identifying the your critical moments. And then maybe one more is when the solution is proposed. Hey, did the agent give the good quality comments and the regions? What was the issue? What is the fix? So that As a requester, I know that whether it's just a one-time thing or is my issue permanently fixed or not. So you define those in the coaching opportunity form as a one-time, and then from that point on, whenever that condition is met, a coaching assessment task is automatically created. It assigned to a coach group, because it could be more than one people if one person is on leave or not available. So the idea is to provide the coaching as fast as possible. So the coach provides the feedback, agent sees the feedback, and they both can discuss using the task work notes and come to a conclusion that, hey, the coaching has been provided. And then you can link it to the outcome as well, that as part of this coaching, we are impacting or improving this particular KPI, and then tying it up all the way to that how this KPI improvement help my high-level business goals or the strategic goals.
Is there a way in this process, how is the trainee learning? Is there an assessment for that to evaluate how well they've learned from the coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very critical, because as you get the training, you want to see your own history, that, hey, is my performance improving or not? And that's important from the manager.
From both. Yeah.
So what we did is we have provided two different reporting dashboard. So one for the trainee, one for the coach, and they both can see these important KPIs. Like as an agent, hey, you can see what are the active assessment happening for me, what is the historical results. And then the good thing is, as an agent, you also have capability to provide feedback to the coach that, hey, is my coach doing the good job to make the coach better? Now, from the coach side, you will see, stats like how many people I coached, is their performance, improving. So you can look at the historical chart, and then you can provide additional feedback using surveys and assessment. So, so this both-way feedback is very easy, because survey and assessment capability we integrated as part of the coaching.
Well, let me ask you, how is this coaching delivered?
So it's fully automated. You define your coaching opportunity for a process once, and unless something changes, you don't have to change it. And there are a lot of flexibility and capability as part of the form. For I think the one common use case is in a given team, you will have new people, less trained, and then the more experienced people, more trained. So you have the flexibility of that, hey, this set of new people I want to train more frequently, or see monitor their behavior more frequently compared to the others. So that way you can, I call this kind of the setup and configuration that you tweak as you go. But after that, it's all automated. The assessment is automated, the reporting is automated, and you start from one process and then expand into more.
So when a coaching opportunity comes up and it's the time to provide that coaching, is it done through a live coach, or is it done in an automated manner?
Yeah, so one of the great feature that comes with this app is sub-module or sub-capability called Virtual Coach. So it's an automated business rule-based bot. And what it can help with is it can offload the work that a real coach has to do. Because as we know, that if I'm a manager and if I'm getting, 20 coaching assessment tasks every day, I will not have time to work on them. So what I can do is I can see, hey, the new people came on board as they're working. Maybe, this is my new hire guide, or best practice KB article, video. I call that as a micro learning. The content could be an audio content, text content, or a video content. And then virtual coach can detect based on the conditions and automatically deliver those coachings, and as well as can mark the coaching assessment task complete. So it's basically a benefit for everyone. Coach time gets free because you don't have to work on every assessment. And then as an agent, the feedback is like instant. Within 2 seconds, you will have the material to refer to, the a short video to go through, so that you can do the better job next time.
For live coaching opportunities, how does that work? Is there a pool of coaches available or at any given time, like a help desk agent, and they receive notifications that coaching is needed and they step in at that moment? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's very similar to that. So as part of the opportunity, you define like who are your trainee. Let's say, in case of a task, maybe whosoever has the task assigned, so that person is getting the trainee. And then you pick the group. And then group will be maybe a different group for different set of processes. Maybe one for, let's say, the ITSM, one for HR, one for customer satisfaction.
So people who specialize in those
areas.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about how you align these coaching activities with a process. You've mentioned the coaching form.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think the simplest way to look at this one is it's a 3-step process. When you go to the coaching opportunity definition, the very first question there is what process you want to improve. So you pick the related table. It's like incident, change, HR. The second thing is who do you want to coach, like the parties involved, the trainee and the coach. So you pick that. And third one is, do you want to use an automated virtual coach to help you out and provide feedback without the involvement of a real coach in the loop? And that's it. After that, everything is automated. Rest is simple ServiceNow task-based activities that our customer have seen in the other products.
Well, as I look at a process that I'm going to develop this coaching for, how do I identify the specific steps within the process that I would want to apply coaching to?
Yeah, so the best way to do that is you identify your goals and KPIs that matters to you for a given process. I gave the incident process example before, and typically in the incident, the IT manager wants to optimize on the mean time to resolve, which is basically optimizing on the cost. You want to optimize on the customer satisfaction, how are the feedback. So if you take that goal and KPI based approach and then see what are the steps in the given process, it becomes easier to see that where the loops are happening and where the reassignment are happening or reopens are happening. Or in other words, wherever you're spending the most time or the bottleneck is happening, those are the parts that you should monitor and provide the coaching on.
In performance analytics, the one way to decide where you would define indicators for a process is to look at decision points in a flow, and you would define indicators for those. Is there some guideline similar to that for this that's identifying particular steps in the process that you want to provide training for?
Yeah, so we have a couple of things. One is the guided tool help. So let's say first time if you are using this application, so it will guide you through how to set this up with some examples. The other thing we did is we provided a lot of good example as part of the demo data. So you look at those, those are the learnings examples that we put together as a reference. So you will get a good idea that across, in ITSM, incident, problem, change, request, what sort of improvements that you can make. And the other one is, I think it's a good to brainstorm as a team and then see, hey, what matters to us. And you'll be surprised that in most cases, people already know that this is where maybe we have our approval process is slow. And talk to the people who are working with the process every day because they know the pinpoints and those are the areas you want to focus first.
Let me ask you, can you bring other aspects of the ServiceNow platform or product into this coaching application to help support?
Yeah, so we already have integration with skills because people have skills. And one of the things is that you want to know that there's no skill gaps or if as a coach, if I'm providing coaching to you, one of the important data point is that the ticket you're working on and do you have the required skills or not? Because if you don't have the required skill, maybe I'll refer you to a formal training. Maybe then it's not just the coaching task. Good example is you deployed a new app and then as a support agent, I don't know how to fix issues in this app. So I should go through a training. So that's kind of the one example. The other is, and it can be used across the different product. One of our customer is using this in a project management case. So when project managers are doing these different activities in the projects, they want to monitor and provide coaching to the junior project managers. So there is some interesting use cases across the different processes, and as we will learn more from our customers how they are using, we will be sharing that information through communities and some of the other desk side chat type of channels.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way to develop a new app, to get that feedback from the early users, help refine.
That's right. And one more point I'll add to my last response is the integration with the knowledge base, integration with the guided tour, or let's say the guided setup. So anywhere where you already have the content available, that you want to make it available or send it to the people if you have a coaching task which is related and that can help that person to improve.
So that would be tied in automatically as part of the coaching that's delivered to the trainee, for example, a guided tour to walk them through the thing that they need coaching on.
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
Any tips for how users can get started using this coaching? Any tricks to it?
I would say not the tricks, but some best practices based on the initial feedback from our design partners and some of the early adopters. First is you pick the most important process that you want to optimize on, or the process which is very critical. For example, one of our customer, they want to monitor the compliance and governance behavior in the GRC use case, because it's very important. If the work which is happening, if it's not compliant, the repercussions are very high. So you start small, pick the most important process. You expand into other processes and see what are the ways where it can be used. The next best practice I would say is that once you have some historical data, you leverage the virtual coach capability. Because again, at ServiceNow, we always strive to make the automated workflows, and so it falls into that bucket because you don't want to spend manual efforts on every task. So can it be delegated to a automated process? And the third one is the reporting capabilities, because to see the actual outcome or the impact that the coaching is creating, both for the at the individual level, the agent level, or for the manager, and then how that impact aligns with your business goals and business strategies. So that's where we have some pre-built dashboard, so you can look at those, have the alignments, and then show the impact to your shareholders, share with the team, because one of the way to build up this, I call it continuous improvement culture. Then as you are making improvement, you share it with team and then engage more people spread across multiple processes.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about coaching?
This is a capability. So we will be using and exposing this into many other different use cases. For example, in the workforce optimization. As a manager, if I have the information on what are the skill gaps I have in my team, so I can refer them into the coaching, or maybe if the improvement is related to people and process. So we want to provide a full flexibility and options to our customer, so that they can improve their service performance, optimize it on a continuous basis, whether it's related to people, process, or technology.
I can see how this would apply to almost anything within almost any functional area within a company. My thought is, with the coaching app the way it currently is, users could apply it just about anywhere they want. They don't need to wait for an enhancement to the product.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it fully featured launch, the first version itself. And then we are looking into bringing more intelligence using machine learning models, like can we detect a pattern within a team and then automatically suggest that, hey, these are the coaching opportunities you should create. So we want to automate both wherever the decision has to happen, using the database insight. And that's where some of the machine learning models will use, like the similarity or some sort of clustering and classification, and use those insights, give it to the coaching admin or coaching manager so that they can make better decisions.
Okay, so pretty powerful now and even better down the road.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, well, how would a user get started using the product?
So in terms of availability, it's part of the ITSM professional CIM package because it aligns with the continuous improvement. So all our customers who have the ITSM Pro, they are entitled for this capability, and it's enabled. The plugin is installed, activated by its own when you enable CIM.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for joining us again here and telling us about coaching. It was really good to have you here.
Steve, always fun to talk about the new capabilities that we are bringing in. And, I'm excited about this particular feature.
All right. Thank you. Well, we hope to see you here again soon.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Please tell us what you think of this podcast. You can leave feedback or ask questions in the ServiceNow community. For more information on any ServiceNow topic, take a look at our product documentation, knowledge base, or Now Support YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.